Here in Boca Raton, Florida, at Oasis Nightlife, and you're watching Gary Davis present.
It's brought to you by
the Celebrity Restaurant and Lounge, where you can get the best soul food in town.
Tex Men America.
Studio Menswear, where we have the real 2-for-1 deal.
City Style at City Place Hair Boutique,
where elegance meets style.
Hugo Print. Imagine design print. If you think of printing, come to Hugo Print.
And when you come to addiction, you will be addicted.
And also by the following.
Hi, if you just tuned in, you are watching Gary Davis Presents, and I'm your host, Sherrah Hill. Tonight, we have a very, did I mention very special, great special for you. We had a chance to go and we talked with Mayor Thomas A. Masters. How are you this evening?
I'm good, and how are you?
I am wonderful. Thanks for asking. Okay, so I want to start off with, where are you from?
I'm from Los Angeles, California. I was born in the famous General Hospital in LA, and I was raised in the famous Pasadena, the little old lady from Pasadena, California.
Okay, wow, interesting. So you're from California. What brought you to Florida?
The church. There was a vacant church in Riviera Beach that needed a pastor. They asked me to come and preach. I preached once, I preached twice, and the third time they say, "You are pastor." And I've been here ever since May 10th, 1987.
Okay, so your background's in ministry?
Yes.
Okay, what got you into ministry?
The Lord. You know, I believe that ministry it comes about by divine calling, divine presence. And I was one of the ones that was called at a very early age, like Samuel, like David. And I appreciate the fact that all of my life I have given and dedicated it to ministry, serving people. So becoming a minister, bishop, pastor, bishop, then mayor was just a continuation or an extension of ministry.
Okay, so you always knew that you would be going into ministry because you said you got the calling at a young age. How young were you?
Well, my first public message was actually 4 years of age. You know, sort of like the Michael Jackson, the Shirley Temple, the little boy, girl, prodigy. And then I was licensed at 9. And I was actually ordained in our church at 12 years of age. At that time, I was on the Art Linkletter house party show. And he said I was the youngest ordained minister in the country at 12 years of age.
It's amazing. So when you decided to go into ministry, how would you say that tied into you being a mayor? When did you make that decision that you wanted to run for office?
Well, you know, my brother-in-law, who's married to my sister in Washington, was the former mayor of D.C., and I've known several other elected officials. I never desired to hold an elected office, you know. I'm in the ministry. I'm good. I'm satisfied. I'm preaching every Sunday. I'm traveling. I'm ministry and evangelizing around the country. But when I began to look at the office of the mayor in the city that I pastor, which is this city, Riviera Beach, I became very disappointed because I didn't see at that time the administration doing the kind, when I say administration, I mean the city administration, Riviera Beach, doing the kinds of things that I thought they ought to be doing. I didn't see them talking about education. I didn't see them talking about putting people back to work. I didn't see them talking about neighborhood crime prevention programs and the kinds of social issues that, you know, the bread and butter issues. I said, you know, I want to make a difference. And so that's when I said, well, I'm going to run for mayor. And I'm going to use the office to empower people.
Okay, which is great. So it sounds like education is your big influence. Are there things that you're working on as far as education is getting back to the young people, getting them to continue their education? Or are they?
Well, I'm glad you wisely said education, because that keeps me young. Dealing with young people, it makes me think I'm 35 again. No, I'm just kidding, your age. But back to this. I think my greatest challenge as mayor is to put people back to work. You know, if people are not working, I mean, if you don't have a working city, you don't have a safe city. If you don't have a safe city, you have no city at all. So my challenge is, what can I do to put people back to work, as many as possible and as fast as possible. And how can I use the influence and affluence of the office of mayor to make it happen? And that's what I have been trying to do as mayor, to put ex-offenders back to work, for example, to put young people to work, to put single parents and fathers and men who can't get jobs. You know, I want to see people working.
Okay.
And so, you know, I've actually got in my car when people come to the office. It's okay, let's get in the car and let me go see if we can help you find a job, you know.
That's amazing.
And have gone to employers and said, this person, that person. That's what I like to do, is to get people working and to see a smile on their face when they get hired, you know. And I tell them that I can help you get a job, but I can't help you keep it. That's on you.
Okay, so how would you say, if someone was sitting home, how would they be able to, if they wanted to get in contact with you in trying to get their education going or trying to get that job? Are there any programs that you have that they can get involved with?
Well, you know, I have a letter somewhere on my desk of a lady that wrote this letter and got it to me. She actually came here one day and she was concerned about finding a job for her husband.
Okay.
And I said, what kind of cell phone do you have? She says, oh, I have a smartphone. I said, okay, let's start with your phone. I want you to download this app that's called Indeed, I-N-D-E-E-D. She did, Indeed.com. And I said, okay, what kind of work? Construction. Put it in. What area? West Palm Beach. Put the zip code in. She found some construction jobs available, went home, shared it with her husband, and he's working now because of a simple phone. So that's the one thing that everyone, most of our young people have smartphones, whether it's Android or whether it's iPhone, you know. See, I'm getting hip to these kinds of things that you guys be talking about. I haven't used the word hip in a long time. Have you heard that word? No, I've never heard that word. Here, that's from the old school, right? All right. That's number one. Number two, I insist that you get hooked up. You've heard that word, right? With Workforce Alliance. Get registered with pbcalliance.com. P as in Paul, B as in boy, C as in Charlie. pbcalliance.com. Register with them. Once you're registered with them, it opens up a whole world of opportunities for you, educationally and also as employment as well. They will help you prepare a resume. You know, a resume makes the difference between getting a job as day and night. Anyone can do an application, but a resume tells the employer about you, some of your talents, some of your gifts, some of your achievements, some of your goals. But anyway, once that's done, then you can navigate, once you're registered, you can navigate on their website, and you will see the different employers who actually will come to Workforce Alliance 3 and 4 a day, Monday through Thursday and sometimes Monday through Friday. And you pick and choose which employer, and they actually hire on the spot. Mm-hmm. So they are paid to do this daily. Right. So they have employers from all spectrums of life to come, and you pick and choose. You just must make an appointment 24 hours ahead. So if it's with Walmart or with a bank or with the military, whoever it may be, or medical institution or security, you can make that appointment. Mm-hmm. So, you know, let's use the tools that are already available. Don't just wait till the mayor give a big job fair and 40 or 50 employers come. That's good, and we do get a lot of jobs out of the job fairs, but you know, it's a challenge because everybody who goes to a job fair is not going to walk out that day with a job. You have to sell yourself, you know. But start with the telephone, graduate right to Workforce Alliance, get on that website, and then on top of the employers who actually come, they have another page on their website called Hot Jobs. And Hot Jobs will give you the jobs that are hiring, and then you seek them out. You know, you call them and then go to them. The other one, they come to the actual location. Okay. So that's kind of how we do it.
Right. Definitely sounds like you're doing everything you can to get the word out for the people so they can get jobs and get back. And that kind of gives me where you got the name, as I heard you're being referred to as the People's Mayor. Okay. When you just started your journey on becoming a mayor, what would you say was your biggest obstacle or something that was the hardest for you to overcome on that journey?
You know, I never thought about that, because with God on my side, and I know He is, all things are possible to them that believes. So my haters become my motivators. You know, my stepstones. You know, He said, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, come upon me to eat my flesh, they stumble and fell." So I never really looked at it like that. You know, maybe a challenge, another day, another opportunity to serve. In each case, each person is an individual. But I guess the biggest thing for me as mayor is that there's not enough hours in a day. You know, that's number one. And then it takes away a lot of your privacy. I have absolutely no privacy at all. I don't even try anymore. For example, if I'm at a red light, I don't even have privacy of being at a red light. You know, someone will blow their horn. If my window's up, they'll say, "Mr. Mayor, I need a job. I need a job." And I would say, "I need one too," you know. And if I go to the restaurant, they'll actually stop me from eating. If I go to the laundromat, to the grocery store, you know, people will just come up to you, and you don't want to be rude. You know, you want to answer them, and you want to address their situation, because to them, their issue is the most important issue in the world. So being a mayor, I guess the challenge is, you know, trying to find some balance. So what I do is wait till everybody go to sleep, then I go out, you know, late at night. So when you hear, "Oh, I saw the mayor out at 1 or 2 o'clock," they don't be lying, because that's the only time I can go out when you ain't out. You know, break a few rules of grammar, go to the Ocean Mall, and sometimes just get in my car and just ride. You know, I lost my mom a couple years ago, and then sometime late at night, you know, I'll be thinking about her, and I miss her so much, and I'll just get in my car and I'll just ride and cry sometime and pray. You know, so that's the challenge. You know, just trying to find that 1 hour when no one's going to blow their horn, and no one's going to say, "I need a job, my son, my daughter, my trouble, the garbage didn't get picked up, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor." You know, and I actually had people calling me from West Palm Beach, you know, and I tell them, "You need to call your mayor first, you know, or your pastor, you know," and then, you know, so that's I think that would be the challenge, or challenges.
Who would you say your biggest influence in life is?
Well, of course, my mother was my biggest influence in my life, and I think of all of our lives of our children, because my mother was a single parent. You know, she raised 6 children, you know, by herself, and put us all in college, universities. As a matter of fact, we were on the Family Feud television. You've seen it before. Well, the guy used to be on with Richard Dawson, you know, years ago. My mom, myself, and others, we were there. We won the first day. I know you're going to ask that you win. Yes, we won. We won the first day. We lost the second, you know. But anyway, Mother sent all of us to college, and then went back herself and got her master's degree and then doctorate degree. So all of us were in Ebony magazine at the same time. Mother with kids, siblings, going to college. I mean, that has to be a great influence on your life. And to see my mother rob Peter to pay Paul, to see my mother move from no house to more house, and almost to the White House, you know, because she ran for the presidency 7 or 8 times. To see a strong Negro-colored African-American woman do this by herself lets me know that I can tell young women and young men, yes, you can. And you've heard that before, Barack Obama. Yes, you can, and yes, you will. So that's the kind of timber, I guess, that I'm made of, knowing that you can do it, and you can do it by yourself if need be. You can go to college, you can get that job, but you have to set your eyes on the prize.
Well, it sounds like your mom was a definite influence on your journey of who you are today. And I'm sure she's very proud. Is there anything that you would say to her today? Obviously, she's listening. Is there anything that you'd say to her?
Well, you know, I would say, Mom, just save a seat for me, because I'm coming, and I hope that to continue to make you proud. She will always live within my spirit. And, you know, she taught us that golden principle at an early age: do unto others as you have them do unto you. For example, if we did that, if everybody did that, the world would be such a great world, a world of love. Just give you an example. The other day I was in Miami. I actually went asked the mayor to help a young lady with an immigration issue to keep from getting deported because she had turned her life around. She got in a little trouble as a teenager, but she's done extremely well. She's in college, works, da da da. But they paid for the hotel for me to stay and rest, the night of. But the parking was like $30, to park at the hotel. And I said, I just ain't gonna do that, No, I'm not paying for it. They're paying for it, it's on the hotel bill. But if I don't want anybody to do that to me, why would I do that to somebody else? So I went down the street, shown up. My grandmother, you don't know nothing about that word, shown up. But shown up, I found a parking garage for $6. I actually walked back 2 blocks. That was it. So why would I do something to somebody else that I wouldn't want that, you know what I'm saying, done to me? Just a little simple thing, I want to save them $30. Because some things, it doesn't take a rocket science degree to do what's right. And to do what's fair. And to treat people like you want to be treated. That's the principle, one of the principles that mother gave us biblically and taught us how to do it. And I hope as mayor, I've tried to do that. And maybe that's one reason, humbly speaking, that people keep putting me back in office, because I think they really believe in me and they know that I'm here to do the right thing and never leave them out.
Okay, well, we're going to go to a short break.
That's fine.
If you are just tuning in, you're watching Gary Davis Presents, and I'm your host, Sherrah Hill, and we are with Mayor Thomas A. Masters. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, this is Beware. Don't forget to come to Celebrity Restaurant and Lounge where you can get the best soul food in town. The address is 1300 North Military Trail. You can contact us at Celebrity Restaurant and Lounge. That's 561-246-8417. It's all happening at Celebrity Restaurant and Lounge.
Welcome back. If you're tuned in, you are watching Gary Davis Presents, and I'm your host, Sherrah Hill, and we are here live with Mayor Thomas A. Masters. Okay, Mr. Masters, I would like to know, what would you say is your biggest barrier with education? I know you said that you want to make sure everyone's getting educated with the youth today. Even if you're not a youth, you wanted to get everyone on the right track to getting their education. Are you running into any obstacles with that?
So one of the things I did when I first became mayor is ask each council person to adopt a school in the city and to kind of keep up with that school, go there, don't be a spectator, but be a participator. And we've done that. Secondly, it's important that we don't just talk the talk, but we walk the walk. So it's important that we invest monies into scholarship programs to give young people a chance to go to college. It's important that we actually go to the schools and intermingle with the staff and the students. I can think of a lot of things that it's important for the mayor and other council people to do when it comes to the education. It's also important to go to the school board meetings to make sure that justice and fairness are on the table. Okay. One of the things that I have been involved in with education of our children is this: if you don't have a safe school, you have no school at all. A few months ago, as you remember, 21 children were killed in Newtown, Connecticut. I'm actually wearing, and maybe the camera can pick this up, but I'm wearing this purple band here. This was given to me. I actually went to Newtown and helped in the officiating of some of the funerals and minister to some of the parents and grandparents. But this was given to me by a mother of a child. I think her name was Angel. And she said, Mr. Bishop, actually, I believe it's a bishop, didn't go as mayor, but it's Bishop Masters. Would you wear this? I said, I would. And I said, I'll wear this purple deal here until we can have some real gun laws in this country to make sure that we don't have any more Newtowns. So what's important to me at our schools, is that we have metal detectors. I believe in metal detectors in public schools in Palm Beach County, in Riviera Beach. Let's start with Riviera Beach. And here's the reason why. I know people get caught up in video cameras. Oh, we got a camera everywhere. Okay, but that's after the fact. A camera is not going to stop a young kid or someone from walking on campus with a gun hitting like that. It didn't stop Nate Brazil. went on the campus, went home, got a gun, came back, shot, killed Mr. Bruno, the teacher. Okay. If we can protect books in libraries, you cannot go in a library and bring a book out because the book detector will go off. As a matter of fact, when you came to visit the mayor today, you went through a metal detector. Our children's lives are just as important, or maybe even more so important, because they have the future ahead of them. So one of the things that I'm fighting for with the school board right now is to put metal detectors in public schools, all of them, to protect our children. Cameras are good, but nothing is going to prevent a child from walking on the campus with a gun. You can have a police officer there, security officer, but if he has a gun, he has a gun. So, let's make our schools as safe as we make our airplanes, as safe as we make our public buildings. So I believe in referendums, which means people exercising the right to vote. If the council won't do it, or the commissioners won't do it, take it to the people. And so that's one of the obstacles that I see now, is that it seems like no one wants to admit that we have a problem in our school district with guns and weapons until it happens. Correct. No one wants to admit that we have a problem with gangs until it happens. Yes, we have gangs in Palm Beach County. Yes, we have children with weapons almost every week being confiscated on the campuses. But one day, it may be 1 hour, 1 minute too late. So that's what I'm advocating for at our schools. But it can't just be about, the weapons, but we must also start and make sure that we invest in early childhood education, child care, daycare, because the scripture even tells you that, train up a child while he's young, and when the child gets old, he'll not depart. Jails are being built today based upon the personalities of children at 8 years of age. So we must continue to stay on top of our schools, on top of our children, on top of the staff. And I tell parents, listen, I just said it Sunday morning when the phone wasn't ringing. Sunday morning, I said, listen, I know every parent in this church feel that your child is the best child, and maybe your child may be the best child. But I want you to know that because your child acts like an angel at home, I've seen many children, probably include mine, to act like an angel at home and get to school and act like Al Capone. So stop saying, oh, I know my child. No, you don't. You know your child to a certain extent. Polly Powell, who was the mother of Nate Brazil, thought she knew Nate. Lionel Tate's mother thought she knew Lionel. And the list goes on and on and on. So parents, and particularly young parents, don't get so sensitive and you're going to go up to school and jump on the teacher because of what your child said, No, go there and find out from the teacher, from the adult, what happened, and try to make some sense of it and try to learn, grow, go, and glow from that experience to see what can be done differently next time. I'm not saying teachers are right all the time, because they're not. They're not right. They're human, they make mistakes. But when the parent and the teacher work together, rather than from an adversarial, I guess that's that big word for today, point of view, it's much better. So, and that's where, elected officials have to step in to try to bridge the gap there between the community and the school. So we are involved, and I'm very proud of our council in years past, because I think we're one of the fewer councils in Palm Beach County that actually have a scholarship program for kids coming out of high school, where the city actually will go out and raise money and get monies donated. Elected officials will donate as well, and we can give $1,000 to $2,000 to someone that wants to go to Bethune or FAMU or Central University. So we believe in higher education.
What can the people expect from you in the upcoming months? Are there any big projects that you have going on? I know you said you're a very busy man and you have a lot going on. Is there any secret projects you have going on that you want to alert the public on, or something that they can look forward to you in the upcoming month?
You can expect job fairs to continue. You also can expect a job fair for ex-offenders. Every now and then, I think Mrs. Jones, who's witnessing this great interview over here, can tell you that we've had job fairs for ex-offenders only. You can't come to this job fair if you're not an ex-offender. You cannot come as an employer if you're not committed to hiring and putting back ex-offenders, because it's not fair to take an ex-offender and just throw them in a job fair with someone who has a clean record, you know, just graduated and whatever, you know. We are also getting involved with, as you may know or may not know, there's 4 cities in the United States that has an Office of Veteran Affairs within the Office of the Mayor. Dallas, Washington, Nashville, and now Riviera Beach. Okay. So we actually have volunteers, veterans who work right here at this messy desk 2 or 3 times a week. However, we're going to partner with a group of people in Riviera Beach that's getting ready to have a homeless shelter for veterans. So you're going to see the Office of the Mayor lending all the kind of moral support and whatever other support that we can do to get that homeless shelter off the ground for veterans. You know, I didn't really know how bad it was for veterans until the president started talking about it, Michelle started talking about it, and others. But it's shameful for people to serve our nation and come back and sleep under a bridge, or can't get a good job, you know, or get back in school, or benefit from some of the veteran programs. So you're going to see this office to become more involved in Veterans Affairs. And as it relates to our seniors, they're in my heart. I actually was the caretaker for my mom for 4 years. I didn't know, you don't know until you're in that position, you know, what it means, what it feels like to be a caretaker for someone that can't walk and talk, and you got to deal with nurses, you got doctors, hospitals, nursing homes, drop Peter to pay Paul, medicine, you know, benefits, not enough. So I said, God, you know, I want to make it easier. You know, I want to give something back to our seniors. So we came up with a program called the Senior Citizen Golden Year Discount Program, where, you know, there's some things I send staff out to do, and there's some things I do myself the staff cannot do for me. You know, I personally went out and knocked on, I did this on 110 doors and businesses in this city, in and around the city of Riviera Beach, and I asked them, would you consider to giving a senior a discount? Kohl's, House of Meats, Denny's, Badcock Furniture Store, beauty salons, barber shops, grocery stores. I went everywhere. And I have to tell you, 99.9% of those businesses said absolutely. So if you are a resident of the city of Riviera Beach and you're at least 62 years of age, you can go, and I think here's a card right here, as a matter of fact. Here's a senior card. You go, you sign this card first, you go to the business and show them that card, and you can get a discount anywhere from 10% to 50%. So you can expect to see that program to expand. I always like to use that catchy phrase, grow, go, and go in Riviera Beach.
Okay, well, we're going to go to a short break. If you are just tuning in, you're watching Gary Davis Presents, and I'm your host, Sherrah Hill, and we are with Mayor Thomas A. Masters. Don't go anywhere.